What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Unemployed to Full-Time Trader Part 2. So, it's about 9:42. I see market in general, it's pretty bearish right now today. So I'm expecting the market to go down. I usually do wait until 10 because that's when the true direction of the market, comes in. But honestly, I'm not, like, for the market to switch bias, it would have to essentially close above here. And I don't really see that happening, I'm gonna be honest with y'all, within the next 17 minutes at least. So pretty much just looking for entries now. Yeah, that's really it. Just looking for entries. Right now I see price inverse this gap. We also hit this gap right here, but we didn't make an engulfing candle, so I couldn't get in on that. But yeah, we're just kind of waiting. Let me look at the 5. This 5 closes below here, that could be good. Let me mark that here. About 2 minutes left on it. Let's see what it does. I'd rather wait for this 5 now to close, and then if the next 5 minute comes up, retest here, and then creates an engulfing candle, then I could get in on that, basically. So yeah, since I usually do wait until 10, but since I don't see price flipping here within the next 15 minutes, I'm looking for now, because like right now is where the volume is, right? So I want to take advantage of that. It's a little bit tough because I have like literally 3 different platforms that I'm trading in, because I have 1 live account and then 2 funded accounts. This 10K is for, this 10K I already passed the challenges and everything. I'm doing like a separate account where I'm still doing the challenges. I'm still in phase 1. So, yeah. And I'm doing my live account on my phone. And what sucks is like with this, well, it's kind of like a good thing and a bad thing, but the strategy, I'm pretty aggressive with like break evens and stuff like that. So I have to move my stops a lot, and I have to do it in like 3 different platforms. So it gets a little bit scary, I'm not gonna lie. I think it's, okay, so we closed below, which is cool. Yeah, we closed below. So now we could essentially look for a potential entry off of an engulfing on the retest. We need to see this candle come up and essentially just touch this level here. Ideally, we don't have it close above. Let me just mark it. For some reason, every time I start recording, my computer is just super sluggish. But yeah, basically, I don't want the 1 minute candle to close above here, because then it kind of invalidates this range here. So what I'm really looking for is just for price to kind of come in, excuse me, within this range here, and then look for a potential retest or entry with an engulfing candle. If not, if that doesn't happen, then I could just look for the retest here. I should mark that. Let me do that real quick. Hang on. There's this level. There's this. There's this. There is this. And then there's this. So you can see there's a couple levels to the downside that we may come down to. And there's this one here. All right, let's go down to the 1, because it looks like we actually just touched this retest here. So I could potentially enter off of the engulfing candle. So let's see. Yeah, this will be a pretty big engulfing. I don't know if I'll enter on this one. I probably won't. Like if like let's say the next candle is bearish and comes all the way down to here and engulfs this one, stops are gonna be way too big for me. I ideally want my stops to be around 25 ticks or less, basically. We already saw a reaction off of this FVG, so we don't really care if price comes up here again. Looks like we might do exactly that. We might engulf this candle. Let's see. About 20 seconds left on it. Doo-doo, doo-doo. Okay. If we do close engulfing, that would be pretty nice. But, or not engulfing, bullish here. Okay. So that's the 5-minute closure there. We just broke highs on the 5-minute. Again, if we have a closure above here, I'm not gonna get any off of an engulfing. I'm probably not even gonna get any off of this engulfing either, because it's just too big, once again. But yeah, if price goes above here, all we're gonna have to wait for is just like some type of break of structure on the 1-minute, or like an inverse, or like inversing a gap here, for example. If it makes this gap, I want price to inverse it. We did just also inverse this gap here, so let's go ahead and delete that. I do remember, yeah, there's a big FVG here in these areas. So price may come up to these areas for whatever reason. Okay, so we just made a gap here. Just goes above resistance, need price to inverses. Okay, so basically, just to kind of give you guys what's going through my head, since we close above this range here, I need price to inverse this gap and this gap here. So both of these gaps, I need price to inverse that for me to even consider an entry. We are about to reach 10 a.m., which is good because that means that that confirms our market bias, which is bearish for today. We may see price come up to here. That's a possibility. But yeah, I just need price to inverse those two gaps. Because for all I know, like it may not react off of this one, but it may react off of this one. Okay, there we go. It's a big little push there. So then, and then once it inverses, then I can use that as an entry, basically, or as a potential entry. It'd be nice, yeah, it'd be nice if we inverse this and then make our own FEG here. That would be even better, to be fair. But let's see if that happens. About 30 seconds left on this candle. 10 a.m. is about to happen, so I might just wait for that. Even if we make an FEG here and don't inverse this gap, I'm still not looking to enter until we actually inverse it. So inversing a gap basically just means like, okay, so we have this gap here. We just need price to go close below it. That's considered an inverse gap. Okay, so we for sure inverse this top one and we made this FEG, but we haven't inversed this one just yet. So let's just wait until price actually does that. This is the new 5 minute, so let's look at the 5, how it's looking. So it looks like a perfect like little like break and retest kind of. It's even better honestly if we close below this range here. The only issue is that like 10 a.m. is coming in pretty soon. So basically what that means is that it's the shorts are gonna make a new 4 hour, 2 hour, and 1 hour candle. So, and usually with candles, like even if I'm looking for sell, like let's say I would have hit sell here. Usually for those bigger candles, it likes to make, like for example, let's say we're expecting the 10 a.m. candle to to go down. Even though we're expecting it to go down, price usually likes to make a top wick first before it flips down and drives down. So even if like let's say I were to look for a sell now, and let's say I get like really good entries or whatever, price could still very likely come up to make that top wick and then drive down. So I honestly at this point I'd rather just wait until basically until 10 a.m. candle, because I just don't want it to happen. I don't want to be in a position where I get in and then I just get wicked out. So like, because like you'll see like typically most candles, like I would say 80% of the candles, they all have a top wick and a bottom wick, right? So you can imagine like for the bigger candles, and I'm trading on the 1 minute, so like for the bigger candles, the top wicks could be all the way up to like here, stuff like that. So yeah, we're just gonna wait. We're gonna be patient. We're gonna wait until 10. We just hit our gap here. Let's see if we respect it. It would be ideal if we do respect it. In the case that we do inverse the gap, what I would just look for is for a breaker structure here on this 1 minute structure. Unless the 5 minute closes above that range, which then it becomes a little bit scary, I think. But yeah, if this, hopefully this 5 doesn't close above here, basically. If it does, it's okay. But I would just need it to like, yeah, probably still wait for that breaker. Yeah, even if it does close here, I'm still probably gonna look for sells below these levels here. It'd be really nice if this candle's an engulfing. Yeah, pretty much. Let's see what happens. It's 9:58, so 2 more minutes, and 10 a.m. open comes in. But you see, like a lot of people, and I used to do this too. Like I would, there was a time where I would just get in off of the FEGs, and like you could see why that's not a good idea. Even though we reacted, we still came up and just ignored that FEG. So that's why you just wait for that engulfing candle. That engulfing gives you like a pretty good idea whether or not it actually respects that level or not. So yeah, this is the last candle, a very important candle. If it closes below here, you know, we're still in a pretty decent spot to look for sells. If it closes above, it's a little bit riskier. I would probably want to see price come below these lows here. Yeah, it looks like we're gonna close above. On the 1 minute, there's this huge gap here, so we may be looking to just fill that in. And I could potentially look for entries here, depending on what price does around those areas. Okay, so it's 10 a.m., so this is good. 10 a.m. So let's see what happens here. Because another thing is like to keep in mind, if we look above, I mean, price broke out of these ranges. There's a very small chance, I don't think it'll come all the way up to here to like retest these levels, you know, but there's a small chance that may happen. Man, I would have ideally seen, I would have ideally liked for price to hit this level. Okay, so there's this gap here, little gap here. So let's see if price could inverse that gap. Okay, hasn't been inversed just yet. Let's take a look in the 5 real quick. So you can see we broke above this range. I don't like that at all, because that means we're breaking bullish structure, right? So I do not like that at all, my friend. Even freaking yeah, we're just chilling. I mean, ideally this candle, you know, the next few minute, like 1 minute candles comes up and hits this FEG. I want to see it like fill in halfway through the gap. That would be pretty ideal. So this is good because we made a little structure here on the 1 minute with this blue line right here. So this is literally like a perfect retest on that 5 minute level to the upside. But again, I'm looking for sales, so I'm sticking to that. Like that's the sort of idea, right? Because like you look at the 1 hour, I'll show you guys. Look at the 1 hour, we broke structure here and here. Look at the 2 hour, we broke structure here, and then you look at the 4 hour, we broke structure here. So we're pretty much in general pretty bearish for the day. So yeah, it's pretty much why I'm expecting price to go down. We're also in a very big 5-minute gap right now. Very big 5-minute gap. I didn't count it, but because it's such a big FVG, like you don't really know when it's gonna react since it's so big, and you can't just like look for sells here and then put your stops all the way up here, or at least for me it doesn't make sense. God damn. So this is good. We hit that 1-minute gap, which we haven't hit before. Like I said, what did I say a couple minutes ago? This is a higher time frame, right? What is price probably doing here? I'm not saying it is, but this is typically what happens. It's probably making a top wick to then flip down and keep dropping down, right? So that's why you want to be very careful when a new 4-hour, 2-hour, 1-hour candle opens, and that candle is typically 10 a.m. or at least for the session that I'm trading. So price usually likes to do this, just make a top break. So like if I would have gotten in situations like I don't know, if I would have gotten in somewhere here, I would have been either a break even or stopped out, because this candle's making that top break that we expected. So So this is a new 5-minute candle that came in as well. Honestly, ideally we don't make a gap on the 5. So it would be a pretty big gap. Okay. We also see it's a small gap. I don't really care about it too much, but a small little gap there just to have it marked. For me right now, depends on how, if price were to come down here, depends on how it looks. Like if there's a nice FVG being made, maybe I'll get in on that FVG. But ideally I wait for price to break below here. This is the ideal scenario. Okay. Yeah, so like for example, let's say we inverse this gap and then the next 1 minute makes like a really nice FVG here. I might enter off of that if it makes an engulfing candle. But yeah, let's see. Looks like it's not gonna happen, so okay, so this is us reacting off of this FEG, okay? So we have to keep that in mind. So usually what happens with FEGs is like once it makes once it has its reaction, even if price were to come down here afterwards, it doesn't really care about it too much after, because it already had the reaction. Like you'll see that happen here. We had this like small little FEG on this area. You can see price just reacted, and then once price came back up to that area, it just completely ignored it, you know. That's because it already, like, the reaction already happened within that FEG. So I'm not too concerned about this FEG any longer. If let's say we look for sales around these areas, I don't really care about this FEG because we already had that reaction. So there's no reason for price to react off of it again. So right now, since we are like fairly bullish, I do want it to get inverse though. Like, I want price to like close below it basically. Yeah, no. Even if we close below this range, because I'll look for break and retest. But even if we break this range here, I still want price to like probably break down below these ranges here, because this doesn't really confirm anything for me. But like breaking below here or maybe even here, that for sure means something, you know. Now there's a big issue here that we are creating a 5-minute gap here. Okay, wait, maybe not. It looks like we're still gonna create that gap. I wouldn't be too concerned about it though. Let's see. Let's just wait until this 1 minute closes. Hopefully we could close below it, at least below here, bro. 20 seconds. I doubt that it closes now at this point, but okay. Let's see now on the 5, because the 5 created a gap here now. Oh my god, look at that push up. Because like what's happening here is like price is just retracing, right? So like if I were to look for buys, it's just high risk for no reason. Because rather than going with the volume of the market, which is like the overall volume, which is, bearish, I would just be looking for retracements, which I think is in general a higher risk trade, you know. Yeah, so now since we made this 5-minute gap, I feel like I have to wait until this gets inversed for us to even look for sells. Dude, that's the thing about trading. Is like you have to be patient. You know, you just have to be, and like wait for your setups to actually happen. Cause when I started, bro, I would have been like kind of beating myself up for not like looking for buys here, you know. But now it's like I don't really care because this setup is just, it doesn't make as much sense as it does for me, right? For my type of strategy, as it does for for sales. So just gotta be patient. Gotta be patient with it. It's made a nice little range here. So even a closure below this is good for us. I still need to price to kind of get rid of all these FVGs here. Because like at the end of the day, even if I look for sells here, like somewhere around here, right? For all I know, price could just react off of this. So that's why we need price to like actually inverse those gaps, and then we can consider an entry. Okay, it's doing its thing. So it looks like we inverse this gap right about now. I'm gonna leave it there. Ooh, okay. We also close below this range. Beautiful. So if we have, what I'll do is I'll potentially enter if, let's say, price were to come back up, retest up on this level, and then there's an engulfing that closes below here. I'll get in on that. So like if this next engulfing candle basically closes like around these areas, I could potentially enter for that. And then I'll have something like this basically. Well, that's not good. That's too big, I think. Even if we goes here, it's not super big yet. We are touching that inverse gap, so that's something that we have to keep in mind. Depends on this closure if we get in or not. The next candle. Basically, I just need price for this candle to close below here. Here. Well, actually, my bad. Be close below here. If it does that, then I could potentially enter. If not, we could just wait. It's fine. So there's a gap here. We just grabbed that gap, right? Just touch that gap. We're also in an inverse gap here. Oh my god, my neck. Okay. So it doesn't look like we're gonna get the engulfing. Just totally cool. Just 3 seconds left. Now, if we get a closure below here, that'd be pretty awesome. That'll be pretty good, and then I'll actually like I'll feel safer now to look for entries. Like be a little more aggressive on entries at that point. Here, closure below this yellow, this blue line here, like below this gap, basically. Oh, this is a new 5 actually. So let's look at the 5 real quick. Okay. So we want to be kind of careful with this level here. So this could be a leverage point here. This could be like our break even. Because again, price could potentially just come down and touch this level and, you know, reflip from there, right? Because this could be a retest on the 5. Okay. So same thing, if this candle closes bullish and the next candle engulfs, but it closes below all these areas, I could enter off of that. About 30 seconds left on it. Is the 5 made any structure at all? Okay. It might make structure here, okay. So like for now, if we were to look for positions, I'm looking at TPs probably down in these areas. I don't know if I'm gonna hold it all the way down to here. It's possible. And I don't even know if price is actually gonna get there, so I'd rather like secure some stuff around here. I'll for sure get partials though, but we'll see. Alright, so this candle, I just need it to like close below here. And if we were to close below there, we're looking at stops of like around 20 pips. Okay, perfect. So yeah, we just need price to like close below here. About 30 seconds left. It could happen. If it reflips, yeah, it probably won't happen then if it reflips here. So this is fine. The reason why is because the 5 minutes making structure. So like, let's say the next 5 minute comes down and breaks below here. Then I can just look for a retest on this level and then look for sells. But yeah, let's see, okay. Yeah, about 2 minutes left. But you see how we like, we had this reaction, like on this gap, we had this reaction right here, but then price came back down to it. I mean, it kind of did react, but it didn't keep pushing up. And then it just ignored that level afterwards. Dude, honestly, if this 5 closes below here, that'd be pretty fantastic. Because again, I can't just go in right now because it doesn't make sense. Like, for all I know, it could be reacting off of this level. So I just need it to be inversed for sure. Okay. So this is good. This is good because we're now closing like this on the 5. So if I look on the 5, there's this line right here. Yeah, let me go to the bathroom. Be right back. Okay, we're back. So okay, so now we close on the 5 up there, which means we make structure. Now I still want the same thing, but even if, like, let's say, like, if this 5 minute, I'll show you guys. If this 5 minute comes down and breaks below here, I could just pretty much ignore this and just look for a potential retest here. Entry on the retest on the 5. So I'll be looking for something like this. Look. So this is the retest that I want. So I basically I need price to close below here. And then I want price to come up, create some type of structure, and then now take the engulfing candle to the downside. Like TPs could be here or something. So this is basically what I need. For price to close below here like it is right now. And then just come up, retest, and then I take that. Okay, here we are. We're inversing that big gap too. Beautiful. Eight seconds left for this to close. So this is good. This is really good. Now we can just... I'll still leave this here just for reference. But yeah, if prices were to come up here and give me like some type of engulfing, I might just get in on that. But like just from the looks like of how it's driving down like this, like there's also a huge gap being made. Yeah, so we could yeah, we could just delete this and then let's put this here, and let's also delete this. That's what it is, because we don't really care about that anymore. About 14 seconds left. Let's see if it makes a pretty decent gap here. I could look for potential entries. Okay, there we go. All right, so we made a nice gap. So yeah, if price comes up here, gives me that engulfing, I'll get in. Ideally, we come up and like we touch this blue line here as well. But yeah, one thing, we want to be kind of careful because it could be retesting, right? It could be retesting these areas and then flipping up. So yeah, that's why, that's why we just wait for that confirmation of the engulfing. I can't, like, this is an engulfing, and I could drive like it is now, but I can't get in on that. I can't. It just doesn't make sense. It's fine. Worst case scenario, new 5 minutes coming in, so it's totally okay. Let's see, because it might make a gap here, and then the next 5 may make a like little top wick here, and then flip back down and keep driving down. That's kind of what I'm expecting to happen. So like we make this gap here ideally, and then the next 5 minutes just goes up like this, like goes up here, makes the wick, and then flips down within that gap, potentially. Or it could come all the way up to here. Yeah. 12 seconds. Let me just mark it real quick. Okay. Alright, I mean, if this candle touches this FEG and closes engulfing, I'll get in. Jeez, dude, what is this? Is there news or something? No. That's just a weird push like that. Yeah, it looks like we may get an entry, but we may not. Worst case, price makes an FEG on the 5, and then we could just get in on that FEG. Okay, so we touched it. The thing is, if I get an engulfing here, just, yeah, maybe it still makes sense, yeah. It's possible. So potentially we could get in off of the engulfing if it makes the if it closes bullish like this. If not, then no interest for me. Four seconds left on this. Okay. Then the issue is like just stops right just a little too big if it were to come down. I don't think it is either way, so it's okay. As long as we don't inverse this gap, I can still look for potential entry. But if we do inverse it, then I'll look for entries up here. 19 segundos left. Dude, if we close like this, it'd be beautiful. Once again, once we inverse this gap, I don't care what happens until we come up to these levels. Okay, so it looks like we are gonna inverse it. Oh, what a push. Jeez. Does that still give us, like, it still gives us some range to... Wow, dude, look at this push. Remember, the retest is here, so I think it's this line if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, we could just look for entries literally anywhere between this range here. We did tap the FEG, so... This is insane though, this push. Yeah, we look for entries anytime right now. All we're waiting on is just an engulfing candle. Beautiful. If we were to close exactly where it is right now, that'd be awesome. Because like now it's like, doesn't make sense for me to sell here, because then, well, I mean, yeah, stop loss are still pretty decent actually, so could potentially look for something. As long as it doesn't go above like here, which it looks like it is. So we're on the retest though, so that's kind of good. See, that's what I mentioned. Like, it could have just been retesting on this downside. So now we need to look for a potential entry here. Let's see what happens. Man, ideally we don't inverse this gap though prior to us getting an entry. Okay. Looks like we're gonna do exactly that. You may drive down now because there's no top wick here. Yep. I mean, the thing is, if I get it on this, it's potentially. if we break below here. There's about 20 seconds left, so it's for sure possible. Okay, I'm gonna start looking here. Let's wait for the closure. Okay, nothing for us here then. Ugh, I could, yeah. I just really want to get in on an actual engulfing. I don't want to just hit sell for no reason, you know? Okay. 7 seconds left, so it'd be pretty ideal if it goes like this. Okay, awesome. So we closed how we wanted it. Now if this candle closes engulfing, I will get in, my friend. I don't know if I should put my stops below here if it does close engulfing. Okay, so it looks like it's not. Jesus, dude, give me an entry. $10 seconds. Let's see what happens. Okay, I'm ready for sales though. Let's see. Nope. Oh! No entries. It's 10:36. If I don't get anything by like 11, 11:15 around there, I'm just gonna be done for today. Okay. So this is a new 5 here. We ideally don't have anything that closes above here. Any closures above here, then I'll have to be a little bit more careful with sells around these areas. Holy, man. Holy. Oh, god damn. We could delete this as well. So the flip is down in these areas. Change that to red. It's 2 minutes left on this 5. Let's see if I get a potential entry here, then could get it. It's 30 seconds left on this candle. Holy shoot. Ten seconds. Oh my god, brother. We did not get another entry. Which is a good, you know, it's not a bad thing, but it's just kind of annoying. Cause like I would have ideally liked this candle to close bullish. But either way, the new 5 is coming in. So, man, ideally we don't close above here. This last 5 minute is very important. Very important. Or this last 1 minute candle. Okay. So yeah, it just looks like it's gonna go up. Holy crap, brother. Dude, at this point we closed twice. We already had the reaction off at the FEG. Ugh. Yeah, now I have to be more careful. Basically, now for me to ever look for sells, I need a closure below here. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Of course, the classic entry. It doesn't make sense for me to sell here. The classic, we get an engulfing one. Okay, this is perfect. Yeah, because we don't here. It's pretty awesome. You know, I could have gotten in on that. The reason why I didn't is just because, like, the following candle could easily do that. I could have taken advantage of this range because I could have, like, you know, basically now would have been in break even. But it's okay. It's okay. It's not the end of the world. We still have potential entries, and we have a lot of range to go down to because we've been going up and up. So we have all these TPs to potentially take profit on. We are the champions. Beautiful. So we close below here. That's beautiful right there. If we touch this and then we get an engulf in that, yeah, it'll be great. Okay, we I don't want to jinx it, but we potentially may get entries here. Hopefully, if this candle closes bullish, next candle engulfs it, we are in, boys. I just need this candle to close bullish. I don't necessarily care about this gap because we're just... Well, okay, never mind. Yeah, I just need price to engulf this and we're in. Close with no top wick, so that's kind of a good sign. So I need price to close below this blue line that I just put. Do 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 scoop 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 scooby dooby doo scoop 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 scooby dooby doo. Alright. Alright. No entries. Alright, perfect. Dude, it's like Precious doesn't want to give us an entry. What the hell? What the heliante? What is this, dog? I mean, I guess it's a good thing. Like we've kind of avoided a lot of L's, you know. But sheesh Louise. You kind of have a gaparuski that we haven't touched. We kind of did. Man, hopefully this candle closes bullish. And then the next one just completely engulfs it. That'd be great. Yes, let's not close bullish. Let's just... Like, I like when candles close like that. Yeah, like that, like a little square like that. Because then the next candle is a really nice engulfing, typically. That's the perfect closure right there, if I've ever seen one. So all we need now is just price to come down below these lows right there, or below this body of the candle. Okay. Yeah, it's only 5 minutes, so it could just be making a top wick to then flip. It's about 30 seconds left on it. Yeah, no. Doesn't look like it wants to go down. Brother, like, what is going on actually? Scooby doo 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 Scooby Scooby doo. Scoot 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 Scooby 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 doo. I doubt it closes below here. But if it does, I could... Honestly, at this point, I probably won't. Bro, this looks... This is crazy. Look at this. This is just insane, huh? Huh? Packet of mail, it's gone. She like I smell cologne. Yeah, yeah. Brother, what is going on, big dog? Dude, look at this. Well, the good news is we've avoided some L's. Bad news is I don't know if we're gonna necessarily take a trade today. I don't know if that's bad. I don't even know if that's bad news, to be honest, but we've been here for how long? Let me see. We've been here for an hour. There has been nothing. So since we close above this range, I can't just, I can't. I need to see an inverse or something. Scooby doo doo doo, scoop scoop scoop. Man, this kind of looks good for buys, brother. But then it's like, where do you even like take your profits at? I kind of want to stick to the original idea. This is redonkulous. Redonkulous, brothers. I was not expecting price to come up to these areas. Oh boy. New 5 incoming. I see that's an engulfing candle, but it's like I just can't get in now because it doesn't make sense. You could argue like I could leverage this little distance there and then break even quick, but it's too high risk. Like me getting in here is just too high risk. Cause yeah, see, it's just I would have broke even pretty much. Oh my god, bruv. Oh my god. Do 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 do. Low key, bro. Low key. If this candle closes engulfing this thing, could potentially enter. Yeah, it's potential. Ideally we don't hit the FEG though, because again it could just react off this FEG. So ideally we don't hit it, and it's not gonna give me the entry. All right. Wait, spoke too soon. This is a new 5. Okay, let me lock in here. Alright, I'm hitting sell. Hitting sell. We sell seals. We're just gonna put our stops here. We don't want to go too crazy on the risk for this one. Alright, we're just gonna break even. Break even. Break even. And break even. Alright, so we're break even on all 3 platforms. Okay. So let's look at this, right? So first tip, I will take partials right about here. So we're break even. The reason, like this, there's a big push here. There's zero reason for price to come all the way back up here. If it does, we don't want to be in this trade. That's the whole idea behind it. Oops. Hang on, I'm setting my things up here on the other one. But yeah, we're break even, so risk-free trade. We also inverse that gap, so that's pretty huge. Yeah, this is like perfect take on the partials here too. Right here. We can't really trail stop so far. There's no reason for us to do that yet. Doesn't make sense just yet. So we're not worried about that. Let's just yeah, we're chilling here, bro. Like if it comes up and breaks even, like cool, you know. Right, let's see what it does. Let's say this candle closes bullish. If the next candle comes down and breaks lows, I'm trading my stops. So basically it's about 13 seconds left. So I need this next 1 minute candle to come down and break like lows here and here. Then I could just like move my stops to on top of this right here. If this candle closes exactly how it is. Right? Yep. So I just need this candle to come down and break these lows, and I'll trail my stops. We might hit break even. But again, trailing stops right now doesn't make any sense. It just doesn't. So we have pretty good entries. So even if we hit break even, I'm happy with the trade because we're within an FVG. Our break even is actually above the FVG, which is perfect. It's just a matter of price now giving us this following candle and engulfing candle off of this. If it does that, we're in a pretty decent spot. If not, we're kind of cooked. Or we'll break even. So I just need this candle to close below here. Yeah, okay, so I already hit. Okay, I hit break even on everything. Alright, so break even right now. For the day. Yeah, break even. Yeah, like it doesn't make sense for me to still be holding this, you know? It really doesn't. I think I mean in this case, man, me taking partials here, it's just like I'm taking what, like 15 times 30. Yeah, like I'm taking 0.5%. Like I don't really care about that. For me, so the reason why I take partials on 50 is because it's pretty much almost a percent. It's not exactly a percentage, but it's almost 1%. And then I usually trail my stops. And then if it does go hit my stop, I at least just take out a percent. You know, I like my profit with that trade would have been a nice little. Oh, hold on. It would have been a nice little percent, you know, with my trailing stops. So. We had a really good entry though, man. Really good entry. Like the move happened perfectly. Like, yeah. Okay, so here we are. Just gonna look for one more trade, and if it doesn't play out, whatever, I'm done. Because I feel like it's looking to go down now. Very aggressive. Okay. So, ideally this candle comes up, touches FEG, and then goes this one. If not, I can maybe just still get in. Yeah, I might just still get in. Indonesia's like, if I... yeah, we needed to close below there though, for sure. Let's just prep ourselves. About 30 seconds left. So if I go in here... yeah, actually... I'll wait on this next one because it's at 11 a.m. So I'll wait, even if it engulfs this. I'd rather wait. Yeah, since there's basically a new hourly gonna open now, as you can see. I can maybe get in now, depending if we could break these lows here, I think. Because I could leverage this. Yeah. Damn. I didn't get in, but that was like what I was planning to getting on the break of the lows. Didn't get in because I'm just hesitant. Hesitant about it, you know. Let me look in the 5 real quick. So it's already 11:01. I want to say I'm looking to get out at 11:15. 11:15, 11. Yeah, around there. Okay, looks like I would have potentially broke even either way. Yep, I would have for sure broke even. 19 seconds left. Okay. Could potentially get an entry here. Oh, such a big stop though. Fuck. These are. Oh, 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 oh. Okay, I'm hitting sell right about now. Alright, so we hit sell. Putting my stops above these areas, I think. Decent stops, honestly. I like the stops here. Okay. Alright, so we have everything set up. Let's just get rid of some of these lines. My stops are right about here. Yeah, 22 ticks is not horrible stops. I think, honestly, if I lose, I'll call it a day either way. This will be our partial take. See what happens here, boys. Yeah, I'm just gonna call it after this trade. I don't. After this point, I don't really want to be in the market at this point. Five seconds left on this candle. It's a new 5 actually. Okay. Yeah, I think we're gonna get stopped out because it's a new 5. It's gonna make a top wick. Let's see. To be fair, if we close engulfing here, that's kind of good. Let me just set up my break evens actually, just to have it ready. So I want to break even fairly quick if we go in profit. Okay. Yep. Looks like we may. I'm not gonna break even yet, obviously, but honestly, if we break these lows, I'm moving my stops to above here. There's really no reason for price to come up here, I think. I feel like if it does, I just don't want to be in it. I don't know. What do we think, guys? Yeah, I kind of wanted to break these lows first because, like, right now it doesn't make much sense until we actually break the lows. Because once we break the lows, then it for sure doesn't make sense for price to come up here. How's the 5 looking? Okay. Okay, so we broke those lows, so we're gonna move our stops to here. Right down here. Okay. So there's really no reason for price to come up to these areas. If it does, I don't want to be in this. Let's actually set it up on my phone. Shit. Here. Where's the reflip? Did we already reflip? Okay, so reflip is there. And this is the 5-minute close. Okay, so yeah, if we could break this, we should see a nice drive. Once we break this, we'll see a nice little drive to the downside. Hopefully we could again close engulfing on this candle, but I mean it doesn't look like it wants to happen, so that kind of sucks. Yeah, but I mean these stops make sense. I don't care if I get stopped out here, honestly. Like I would not mind it, because we broke these lows. There's no reason for price to come up and break these highs, so it should keep driving down. If it doesn't want to keep driving down, then I just want to be out of the trade, you know. There's the push. We need to see break these lows, and then you see a nice push. Yeah, there's the push that we expect. I think so. I won't break even yet. Okay, if we break it below here, though, I will move my stops to here. So if we break these lows, I wanna. Actually, I'm just gonna break even. So the reason being is just such a big push that I don't see a reason why price should come back up here. And I'll call it a day if it goes up here, though. I just don't see that happening, you know. If it does happen, I really don't want to be in that situation. So yeah, being full partial takes is here. Yeah. I might take full if it reaches RTP. This is a new 5, I just noticed that. Okay, so the break of the lows is here on these 5. If we see that, we should see a nice drive down. I think TP idea would be like, so this is, let's actually mark that. This right here is our first partial. And then I think TPs should probably be around these areas, like full TP. Yeah, break of these lows is should see a nice drive on the actual break. Okay, so we should see a little bit of a drive now. After we broke those lows, I might have to move my stops below here. Because there's just no reason for price to flip at this point. We just broke those lows, you know. I might do it. I'm not gonna do it just yet. I might do it if the next candle breaks below these lows. If it breaks these lows, I'm actually gonna trail my stops there. Like right here at these lows. If not, I'm willing to hold it because I mean I don't care about 0.3%. Okay. Again, if we hit break even, we're out. We're done. We're done. We're just done. Like, I don't know. Market's been weird, so for today. So I don't really want to be in this back and forth with the market, you know? Okay, we hit here, we hit here. Alright. I think I still haven't hit. We haven't hit on my live for some reason. Okay, now we did. Alright. So yeah, we're calling it a day there. Break even day. Pretty much break even. Yeah, there was just like so unlucky because both of our trades actually, like this trade here actually played out. Dang, okay. Unlucky. Dude, look at this push. Wow, bro. Hello? Why is this thing bugging? Wow, dude. Of course it does that after I freaking hit break even. I think I might just re-enter, honestly. I might just re-enter off of this, boys. Because we just had it pretty decent engulfing. I'm a wait, this is my other account. Oh my god, dude. Come on. Okay. I might re-enter off the retest here. Okay, we're getting in. Boom, boom, and boom. It's off the retest and an engulfing there. Oh, these are kind of big stops. Come on, come on. Gotta hurry. Dude, what the? Yeah, this function is not it. Now my partial take is here. My full take is here. I think if we break these lows, I can move my stops above here. I might be vanity. Yeah, so basically where my head's at is like if we break these lows here, I'll move my stops above here. Okay, so we broke it. Since there's a new 5 coming in, I would ideally want price to close below here. Just keep driving down, keep driving down, keep driving down. I don't like that it's reflipping though. I might have to break even again. I'm breaking even. Let's just move it. Hang on, let me just set it up on all my stuff. Bing. I don't like that it's reflipping like that, so I'd rather just get out if anything. There's a gap there as well, so yeah, no, we're done. We're done for today, boys. Alright, unlucky. We just got stopped out on 3 break even. 3 break evens. I think it made sense though for me to break even here because like for all I know it could just keep driving up here. Let's see, I'm curious to see this. I'm not gonna get in anymore. I'm done. Oh my god, you're kidding. I think now breaking even makes a little bit more sense, but either way I would have hit it. It probably would have hit, maybe. Let's see. Yep. Yeah, it would have hit break even. Okay. I don't feel too shabs about it though. But see, look. That's where you break even there. Because now you would have been in drawdown for no reason. And it may hit your stops. I mean, you don't know just yet, but I feel like if it breaks these highs, it'll probably drive up, you know? It's funny though, because here, like, I got in. Where did I get in? Where did I get in actually? Oh, I got in on this engulfing candle. It made this big push to the downside. It came up, literally hits our freaking break even to the and then it just reflips down. There was this other entry. What was the other entry at? Right here, I think, somewhere here. Price, boom, drives down, comes back up, hits my freaking break even, and then goes down again. Yeah, so 3 back-to-back break evens. That's crazy. And this might be the same case. But I think, like, for this one, it did make a little bit, like, this one did make sense. And I think maybe for this one, it didn't make as much sense because realistically, yeah, honestly, this one didn't make that much sense. But, well, actually, it did because there's a gap here. I'm noticing though, like, price would like go over the gap, but it still kind of respects it, you know, like starting to notice that a little bit. But yeah, we're pretty much done though. Looks like I'm just waiting to see what would have happened on this trade. I'm curious. You have got to be kidding me, bro. This is crazy, guys. Okay. Well, it would have been playing if I would have been in a situation where it might have played out. So that's just so funny, actually. That's unlucky. That's just unlucky. Yeah. I mean, sheesh. We put our stops here. We pray. Boom. Dude, look at this though. Like, I remember I entered here, like somewhere around these areas, somewhere around here. Wait. It's just unlucky, bro. I don't know. Price comes all the way down like this. Literally ticks me, bro. Literally ticks me out, brother. By like a tick. Look at this now. Oh my god. I don't know. Maybe I'm trying to think, like, in terms of my risk management here, like, if I shouldn't have actually broke even. Thing is, it doesn't technically make sense, but at the same time, because like realistic stops in terms of like, okay, when does the trade does not make any sense, right? If I'm in this situation, let's just clear some of this out so we can see a little bit better. For me, when it doesn't, like, if I'm here, I'm in profit, right? When it doesn't make sense to be in this trade, right here. Once we're above here, we don't want to be in this trade. But then, once price does this, and then if it does this, then now you could move your stops to here. I mean, even break even, because this is such a huge push. There's no reason for price to come up, right? So now is when you could break even. Yeah, that just sucks, actually. Surely I don't get in again, right? Surely I'm not that hard-headed. Damn, dude, that's crazy. It makes me want to get in again, bro. Like, until I lose, I don't want to stop, you know? This is a really nice FPG though, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, if it legit closes below here, I have to get in, right? Like, this is such a good reaction. Yeah, I would have taken my partials already. Oh my god. Shit, let me open my phone. Oh crap. We got stopped out. And it's gonna flip now. Well, unlucky. I'm gonna call it. I'm gonna call it. I'm just going on and on and on. It's only 0.7%. I don't really mind it, but yeah, I shouldn't have done that. Unlucky. Well, that's pretty much it for today. Just an unlucky day in general. I think I should have just taken the signs that the market was giving me of like, you know, all the break evens. Yeah, yeah. But like, see, I don't know. Just sucks in general. Just sucks. Well, pretty much it, boys. I'm gonna call it a day here. Yeah, it's not that bad. It's not horrible. All right. Well, there's that. Literally, we would have hit our TPs already, or at least close to it. Unlucky. Man. Yeah, that sucks. Well, until tomorrow. I mean, today's what? Today's Thursday. So yeah, until tomorrow we come back. See what time it is. There's any news? There is news at 10. Okay. So yeah, tomorrow we're waiting until 10 for sure. And anyways, that was pretty much it for today. Honestly, I think I'm gonna call it there. It's already 11:33. I've been on this shift for like 2 hours already. My head freaking hurts. Just 3 back-to-back freaking break evens. I just had to like take another one. That's what I mean. That's exactly what I mean. Like I don't stop. You know, that's an issue for sure. But yeah, guys, thank you guys for watching. Anyways, peace. See you tomorrow.